I'm like a rock star. I used to wear nail polish. I had to stop wearing it because of my son.
Why?
Because he wanted to have nail polish, and his mom was like, "Man, you can't wear nail polish." He's like, "My daddy did it." So he really wanted to do it. That slowed my career down a lot. I had to step out of the rock star image, but it's like I didn't explain every single thing to him. He understand that.
But what about, okay, you pulled your kids out. What about our kids that you still got in there that's wearing all this polish? You know, what about our kids that want to be you?
But I stopped doing it.
Yeah.
So if you want to be me, you're going to stop doing it.
Okay. But yo, I'm not gonna lie. When I used to listen to more secular music, Barter 6 was
I know you have a spot
I
for Young Thug.
I got a soft spot. I got a soft spot for Young Thug, man. I'm sad that, you know, he clearly didn't. He stopped wearing nail polish, but kept affiliating with stupid illegal activities, you know.
Well, he's like, that's kind of funny that he's like, hey man, I'm not gonna leave the gang life, but God forbid my son. Yo, what? He's like, I don't want to be a bad role model. Someone stop wearing nail polish. Young Thug, you got to do a lot more. The whole ring thing is probably gotta go.
Wow. Yo, that is
goodness.
funny. Yeah, you can't run a criminal enterprise and be a good role model for your kids at the same time, bud.
He says, I was wearing nail polish until my son wanted to. Then I had to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that also set his career back a lot.
Because he stopped wearing nail polish.
That's what he said. Wow. So what do you think he's alluding to there?
I mean, you could get into the conspiracy of like the feminization of men, or particularly black men. There's that whole thing. Yeah, there's a whole thing of like so and so didn't really blow up as an actor, as a comedian, until they finally wore a dress.
I've seen that, like, or they've acted as a woman in a sitcom or something like that.
Yep. And so that's a whole thing within like black entertainment. You know, that's kind of wild. So he could be alluding to that. Marlon Wayans and Shawn Wayans, they were really funny. They came up on what was it? In Living Color. Mm-hmm. And then like they acted in the White Chicks movie where they're like two white girls dressed up as white girls.
Yeah.
You know, so there's this pattern. I think Kevin Hart dressed up as a woman once, right? Yep. There's this pattern, and again, I'm not saying there's a correlation there, but there's this pattern that like Dave Chappelle talks about how he like refused to wear a dress before, you know, and so I'm not Martin Lawrence, I think, wore a dress, right? Was it Martin Lawrence? Yeah.
This is 2013 too, so. That's 2013, so it was before he was super booming. Yep. It also says Kevin Hart Illuminati exposed. Yep. Quite the little rabbit trail here we could go down.
Yep. I mean, look at that. Kevin Hart, Jamie Foxx, Martin Lawrence.
Dang, Jamie Foxx.
Chris Tucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's goofy.
So the conspiracy is that that's a thing of like that they try to demasculate. You know, so he could be alluding to that. Now that's completely speculation on my part. So Thug was doing this dress thing here, and then, you know, stopped wearing. He wore a dress on his album cover. He was wearing the nail polish. He was wearing women's clothes, and then he said he like stopped doing it because he had a son and he didn't want his son to be feminine. And you know, maybe what he's saying, if I'm gonna be charitable, maybe what he's saying is that it was less of a rock star image.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what he's getting at. Like I come off less of a rock star if I'm not doing all this weird.
You can't do a bunch of weirdo stuff and
Yeah.
But then even to that, the rock star image, the wearing the dresses, is there something there to just conforming to kind of like, even outside of the black comedians that have to wear dresses to get popping off, like just in general, the feminization of men and being like, wear nail polish, wear a dress, you'll get so much more coverage. Like it's just like, it's a moment, like creating more moments with your masculinity. What?
Yeah, he would play with it and be like, call his homie, like his videos of like him calling like his trap homies boo, you know, and love and like super kind of sus stuff. And like in hindsight, you discover that like,
he's just a character.
This dude was like he was running around with real street dudes, and it was all a troll. But it definitely made him seem crazy, and a lot of people started paying attention to him because of that. You know.
Wow.
So it's all sus, but it's like, you know, and then you have kids, And then you have kids.
And then you have kids, and you're like, I should probably clean it up.
Yeah. And to bring it back to the NF point, like Big Boy's like, well, what about our kids? You know, so it's like NF has a kid, and it's like, I don't want to make depressing music no more. I want my kids to know that they're loved and there's hope in the world.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what about all the other youth group kids that like listen to this?
Yeah.
You know, like what about them staying in a cathartic, depressed state? You know?
Yep. It's also it's kind of a weird acknowledgement to a parent's ability to kind of raise a child properly in their role. Like, yeah, this goes down a road that isn't actually productive for him.
Yes, correct. And I think that's fair. You know, I remember that Patrick Bet-David video we covered, and he said that the average kid, even with a father in the home, spends 30 minutes a week with him. You know, a week. That's crazy. And I was just sitting there, you know, like, I think men just need to be men with their kids, you know, and like physically engaged and active. And so, I don't know, man. I have so much fun with my son. Like, we're going through the book of Romans right now. He's just hungry to learn the Bible.
That's cool.
You know,
that's
so
awesome.
he's like,
what a great age.
Yeah, yes.
Where he's like,
he's starting to understand.
Yeah, he's starting to understand. He's starting to have the mental capacity. Yeah. Not just understand, you know, understands a little bit younger. Yep. But then like mental capacity to like learn and absorb. And
So we're doing memory verses. We're doing like Romans 10, 9 through 10, Ephesians 2, verse 8 through 9. Like all the like, what is salvation? What does it mean to be saved? How are you saved? We're doing those, and then we're going in and like we're reading like half a chapter a day, and he's doing most of the reading, and then I'll stop and it's not just reading, it's like we're sitting there, we're talking about the context, who is Paul, why is he writing Romans, what was Rome, and it's super fun. And I think that, I don't know, I think we need more of that, you know, not like don't wear nail polish. If my son spends enough time with me, he's gonna know not to wear nail polish.
He's not gonna be interested in it.
You know? So
hey, this clip is from our daily after party stream. If you enjoyed it, consider signing up for our Patreon community for only $5 a month, where you get access to the replays of our daily after party streams, as well as the uncut extended versions of our podcast, Discord access that's private, and a discount code for our merch store, only $5 a month. And ultimately, it's the best way to help us contextualize the gospel of Jesus using media, podcasting, and of course, YouTube. The link for that is in the description or in the pinned comment. I'll see you over there, all right? Peace.